Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. If you're not familiar with these videos, I'm renovating a house I purchased for $9,000. This house's end goal will be a rental house and then might get sold down the road, but for now it's going to be a rental. I'm standing here in the kitchen and we'll do a quick update of where I'm at in the project, kind of where we're going. So the last video was an update, but since I didn't get into any of the details of what's kind of going on since then. In that video you saw me do some of the plumbing, starting out with this flange here and then work under the floor and then over into that crawl space, replacing the water line. But as you can see, I've got some more plumbing going in. So that's the vent for the vanity. Did something kind of funny, so I'll go ahead and talk about that because I'm not going to be showing that actual glue job. But that's the hole that I drilled in the pipe that comes up through it that attaches into all that plumbing under the floor. So this right here will go like that. This will act as the vent, the drain, and then the vent. So underneath this sink right here, pedestal sink, the water will come down, go through the trap, will go through the trap and then right into here. So that will vent that. Then the water will go down, back out of the wall. So the water goes in the wall, out the wall. And the reason I want to do this is because I want to get the vent in the wall. And this was just, in my mind, the cleanest way to do it, where I could kind of eliminate the sight of all you would end up seeing behind the pedestal is a little pipe going in like this and a pipe coming out the wall right there. Everything else will go into the wall. So let me try not to make y'all too dizzy. The venting is just to keep the water in the traps. When water runs down pipes, air has to replace it, so it's pulling air in from the roof. And this also vents the city's stuff too. So if you didn't have traps under your sink, so that's that S-curve pipes that are underneath your sinks and then designed into the backs of toilets. And then here's a good one to show you. So that's for the bathtub upstairs. So when you drain the water in a bathtub, water stays in here and that sort of corks off the system. So it's just water, but it's enough to where when sewer gases from the city or your septic tank are coming back from up the sewer, they go like this and they turn and they go that way and then out through the roof. That little bit of water stops those gases from getting in your house. So that is the purpose of the venting. So this pipe right here goes, a 3-inch pipe and then adapts into 4-inch, goes right out to the sewer. So all that gas, and you can imagine what it's off-gassing in those pipes, that's coming out. And that's the pipes that you see sticking out of roofs. So just white PVC pipes, that's what that is. So yeah, that one vents up. This is the vent right here for the toilet. So you can see it goes right down. So that goes down over and then that attaches right into the top of that pipe. That runs up, over, and then up to that wall. And then the vanity is on that wall above us. And then this is the drain for that vanity, but that drain is attached into this vent. That drain comes across, down, and into this pipe here. So you can see it's a little trickiness going on. I fit it all kind of right in this opening that was cut, but I had to kind of bump it out to get into this wire. The larger plumbing next to it, that is for the toilet. So the toilet flange is there. Comes down, comes across into the stack. Then you can see this Y fitting right there. That goes across and into the bathtub upstairs, and the bathtub is vented out this side. Goes into the sidewall and then that goes up and connects into this pipe. So this vent and then this vent go up into the attic and then connect in and will go right out the roof. So this one goes out the roof and then those go out the roof. It's really tight up in the eaves where this kind of passes through the wall, so there wasn't space to actually tie those into this and eliminate that 2-inch vent. So no big deal. I don't mind it. What else? You can see the PEX. So the whole house has been replumbed as far as pretty much everything. And I replaced all that Quest pipe plumbing, which is the gray stuff that was sort of the original PEX. Now this is new PEX. New PEX, wonderful material. So those lines come up from the main water line and from the hot water tank. They split off and go to your different fixtures. So I've got to add some more pipe straps and stuff to these, but that goes up to the vanity. These run over to the bathtub. This one right here, it's cold water line, splits over to the toilet. Sorry if that got you dizzy. So the reason, this is a good thing to mention, all of these water lines, originally what I was going to do, I'm going to get y'all so dizzy. Originally I was going to run all of the water lines up this wall. But that would have put all the water lines in the wall, and I didn't want to do that. So all I've got is those two, the cold and the hot, for the kitchen sink, sorry. Now I could, and I could still do this. I don't know why I don't just do this. I could just bring them up through the floor and they would come up through the bottoms of the cabinets. But I like it when the pipes come out of the wall versus down through the floor for some reason. And they're going to be insulated, and I'll tuck some more insulation behind that. So they'll be fine. I've got multiple other houses that have this, and I haven't had any issues in my area. But if they weren't insulated, and there was no insulation in that wall or anything that was right up against the outside of the house, you could definitely risk freezing. In my area, you can get it down to, I don't know, what the coldest it's been. But, in the wintertime, you can end up with extended times that it's in the 20s. So if you have 20-degree weather that lasts for days on end, you can definitely get really cold and risk some freezing. It gets a lot colder than that on occasion, but that's sort of the average really cold temperatures, which isn't too bad. I think that's pretty much it. What I'm going to start doing here in this video is working on some of the electric. I am going to end up taking out this drywall here and running some more receptacles around the room, as well as doing some lighting. So up above me, I'm going to do some recessed lighting, so can lights. And then here in the bathroom, I'll be installing that, just a bathroom fan right there in the center. And then what I'm going to do is that will duct across right out of the wall. So I'm going to start putting those can lights in, deciding where I want them, get that fan installed, and you can follow along. So these are 6-inch can lights, very common and inexpensive. I think this pack, and it includes everything except the light bulb and the wiring, is about $60. So it includes these, the little housings, not the housing, this is the housing, and this is the trim. So the can light, that's what it looks like. So when you're seeing a light that looks like that, when you look up at the ceiling, this is the unit that is up in the actual ceiling. Let me make sure you can see this clearly. So you've got these brackets right here that adjust. They slide this way, and then they go further apart to adjust for different joist spacing. And then they come with nails already pre-installed. So you just get this up against your joist, and you hammer it in on both sides. And then afterwards, the cool thing is once it's hammered in, then you could put a string across all of them, and then slide them all to the spot you need. And then where is it? There's a little screw in here somewhere. Yeah, a little screw right there, and that screws into this bracket here, and that locks them in place. So you can get them all lined up so they're very easy. I think these are probably some of my favorite types of lights for install. The way they look, they're completely out of the way. It's not like a light that hangs down. And these are IC rated, so insulation contact, I guess is what that means. Basically, you can pile up insulation all over these, and that's safe. They're rated for that, so code-wise, that works. The connections inside this one, let me see what's in here. Yeah, these are these little quick connectors. I don't know what you call these. These have a name. I just can't think of it right now. It's some little funny word. Basically, you strip the end of your wire and then you just tuck it in there. Some people don't like them. Some people like to cut those off and then wire nut them. I've had okay results from these, but once this is in the ceiling, it's all closed up, so do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Bring you in a little closer on this next one. A little dark up in here, but you get the idea. Let me get you position. So I've got a pencil mark right here, and then on the can there's a little indentation in the can where they, I guess, join it together. So I'm going to get that. I get these little brackets, the tabs, onto the joist. I line that up, and then make sure your little tabs in the right spot. And I'm also not hammering these in all the way at the moment because I'm going to kind of check to see if I like the way it looks. Sometimes you think it's going to look right, but then when you put them up, the spacing might not look about right. Then you just extend the arms across. I usually slide the light down to the other side to make sure you're not bending the brackets around. then you're in. So the next thing you're going to do is you can take a measurement off the wall, but sometimes if the wall isn't a situation where that wall is not there, it could be like part of a wall here, then it wraps around. You might want to do something like put a string across, then you can slide each one. If you've got something like a laser line you can pop across, that's another way to do it too. Of course, if your joists are completely square, you can just base it off your joists. In the case of this house, these joists are running at an angle. So when you're doing renovations, sometimes you got to get creative of how you kind of figure out the squareness of stuff, because oftentimes nothing's square, level, or plumb, or anything like that. And sometimes if you take measurements off of one thing, in the end it looks weird. Or if you try to square everything up, so you have to do this kind of like in-between of square-ish and looks okay with the space you're actually working in. So now we need to get the other two lights up over here, and we'll take a look to see if it looks good. If not, I'll pop these out and we'll maybe space them apart or something like that. But you need to get them up first. Got all the lights tacked up. I did actually go back in right after that last clip, second to last clip, and space these out 4 inches. That one 4 inches that way, that one 4 inches that way. That one stayed the same. And then this room being at a square made, getting these, just a direct measurement off the wall made this one look like it was way too far this way. So I kind of had to pick a happy medium. You can see my different lines I was drawing there and there to get everything centered up. So there's that. So we got 4 in this kind of this area in the kitchen, and then around the corner there will be this one at the door. So alignment wise, thinking what I'll probably do is basically shift all of these and center them kind of on this space here. I mean, I may go a little bit further that way. My reason for wanting to push these this way and then push these against the joist is to where they're not so far apart and there's not this kind of like dimly lit area in the middle. This is a small kitchen for this much lighting, and you can get some really bright lights in these if you want them. Then your other thing you got to keep in mind when you're looking at all this is cabinets. Cabinets are going to come off a foot, so the cabinets will be here. And then if I ran cabinets down this wall, those cabinets would come out too. Over here, the refrigerator, that light will sort of be hovering over the front of the refrigerator, so I think that's good because a freezer doesn't have a light in it, a standard freezer. So that will throw a light up in there. Let's get a real low angle. Let's do a low angle of all of them. Y'all can let me know. Let me know what you think. So it's a little dark over in that other corner, but that is the spacing. I think that's going to do pretty good. It's a lot of light in a small kitchen, but a bright kitchen is a nice thing, and the problem with this kitchen is it's got small windows. I'll be replacing this window, but I'm probably not going to enlarge it because that would involve getting into messing with the siding outside, and I just don't want to get into all that. I just want to be able to have that window replaced and be done with it. So I'll come in with all this can lighting. That'll throw a lot of light in here. And then the other thing I may do, I think it's a nice thing in a kitchen, is a light over the sink. So I may end up doing that, so the sink would be right here and there'd be a light over this window, and then a switch right there on the wall. Y'all come over here and I'll show you what a bathroom fan looks like and how to install it. A bathroom fan is similar to a can light in that it mounts up in the ceiling. It just mounts to the side of one of your joists, or you can put a 2x4 or something across from one joist to another if you need to position it specifically. And so this is what you see if you're looking up. So it actually mounts this way. And when you're mounting this in your ceiling, I need to go that way with the pipe, so that'll be aimed that way, and this will just get mounted to the side of a joist. You can also nail 2x4s onto the side of that joist and space it out. It'd be nice if these had brackets similar to the can lights, but this particular one doesn't. I'm sure they make some that do. On the metal housing of this particular fan, it's got these tabs, and a lot of them are this way, and you just bend those tabs over, and then what that is going to do is give you your spacing for the drywall. So when you mount this on the joist, you slide it up against that tab and then you nail it off through those slots there, and then this one, the drywall will go on this side actually right up against it. So that's just a 1/2 inch spacing. The brackets on the side, that's where I screwed through. I just moved it down to where I wasn't screwing to the knot. Those little tabs up against that. So this gives you the 1/2 inch spacing right here for drywall. You know, it's a pretty stiff little mounting. You don't have to worry about it being mounted here. I didn't even center it. I'm not worried about it in this house. So it'll be off-centered. That ring right there, can't see anything. That's what covers it up in the end. So you'll have drywall, and then that's like that. So this is just a fan. And then again, the light will go right there. So that's installed. As far as wiring goes, the wiring is a little plate that pops off on the back side. That wire will run around down to a light switch. I'll probably put the light switch here on the inside of the wall. And then that black outlet pipe, that will go across right out the side of the house, just like a dryer vent. I didn't get piles of work done, but that was a good kind of warm-up getting back into the project. Got the lights up, the fan up, and then tomorrow maybe I'll get involved in some wiring. I'm not sure. Hopefully I make it back in the morning. So, see you tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. It's about 6 a.m. the next morning, and I just got back from about a 5-mile run. Just kidding. It's about 4 p.m. 2 days later. I don't get up that early, and I don't go running. But today I'm going to be getting this kitchen cleaned up a little bit, tear out the rest of this drywall to where I can have everything exposed, open, and accessible, and start getting some of the wiring taken care of. And we're going to start off getting these wires tied into these lights. So this is going to be a 15 amp circuit. That is this white wire right here. That's going to come down to the switch, and then a wire will go off that and then power the lights. So I'll first connect to this one and then put all these lights together, and then when you flip that switch, it'll put power to all of them. So all I've got to do is just run a wire from this one to this one and that one to that one, and then connect those. Each one of the lights has this box here. That's the electrical box. The lid comes off, and then you have the wires. And then, so all I need to do is take the white wire in my Romex, tuck that into that, and then the black, and then the ground, and then those wires can just slip in right through that, and that will pinch it. So that keeps me from having to use wire connectors and having to use those knockout holes. As this video nears the end, I want y'all to let me know what you're thinking about the style of this video. It's the first one where sort of y'all have been right on my heels as far as posting the videos goes. Everything else up until this point has been pre-recorded, so it ended up focusing on a narrower section of the overall progress, but it's a little more detailed, a little more explanation going on. And then I'm thinking that this could result in longer videos, but maybe showing a little more stuff in real time. But y'all just let me know what you think. I am open to suggestions. These videos are for you, the viewers, not for me, the editor. I have fun doing the progress regardless. So let me know, and I'll do my best. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to click the links below for my ebook and whatever else I put down there, the new channel talking about the financial side of everything that I do, if you're into that as well. And then check out my other channel, The Homestead Craftsman, where I apply the same level of attention to other woodworking projects, furniture, jewelry making, engraving, and whatnot. Thanks for watching. See you next time.